Happy Halloween. I'm Stephen Yvaska, the antiques columnist for the San Jose Mercury News. And this Halloween, I've written about fortune-telling collectibles. So I wanted to tell you a little bit more about some of this mysterious memorabilia that collectors really look for. Here's a fun item here. This was made by the Ideal Toy Company around 1950. And kids used this at a Halloween party to tell their fortunes. One thing, though, that the host or hostess had to provide those kids with was a penny, because you had to put one in order to get your fortune. So those generous hosts really supplied you with a fun time on Halloween night. There are many collectibles. This one, by the way, probably worth about $50 when you can find it. At a party, you could get your fortune told by somebody there pretending to be a fortune teller. And these gypsy witch cards, which have been made now for over 100 years, were probably at the party. Somebody would sit you down and use a deck of cards and tell you what your future would bring. The cards all mean something different. Here, for example, with the two of clubs, if you were to have that drawn, this one has a railroad on it, and it's telling you there's going to be a trip in your near future. You might also have your fortune told at a party using one of these special cups. This one's the cup of knowledge. These were real popular in the 1920s. Most of them were made in England, and they are really fun. And don't just use them at Halloween. You can have your fortune told any time of year. But these are getting a little bit hard to find. I just saw one at the Pleasanton Antique Show for almost $90. But if you really scour the shops and shows, you could find one for about half that price. If you're really lucky when you're out searching for antiques, look for one of these wonderful witch teaspoons. These were made about 1898, so they're about 100 years old. And these are really fun. They have a witch on them and all kinds of other symbols of Halloween, like a black cat with this back arched way high. These, about 125 if you're lucky. A lot of people associate fortune-telling things with the Ouija board. The Ouija board's been around for hundreds of years, but the one like this one that most of us know became familiar first in the late 19th century when a couple of folks from Philadelphia invented this board, and it's still popular today. This one isn't that old. This one's made of a laminated plastic. You don't have to have a crystal ball to tell you this one isn't that old, because the earlier ones are made, some of them of fine maple, and they wouldn't be this plastic laminate. So you get little clues along the way. There were all kinds of collectibles. A lot of card games like this one here were made. So when you're out and about, look for these things. They're all meant for fun. So I hope that you'll have a bewitching Halloween by collecting some of these wonderful, scary items.